What's going on? It's Ryan with CrossFit Way of Life, Weightlifting Way of Life. This is our training session from March 30th. Here's Brandon working some snatch work from the ground. He's 230 pounds, just over 105 kilos. Brandon's had a little problem lately of letting that bar pop out from his hips a little bit too much. You can see it. Saw it on the first rep there. Second rep, he cleaned it up a little bit. One thing we're working with Brandon with a lot right now is staying connected to that bar at all times, not letting it leap away from the hips too much. Making sure that he's pulling with his arms the whole lift. We're kind of using the analogy that the arms are pulling you under the bar the entire time, even though the legs are pushing. There's Pat with some excellent dance up there.
Kodak Black?
Obviously.
Mumble rap. Down syndrome rap, yeah. I think it's worse because we got that on camera. Down syndrome rap?
That's a little bit of commentary on the mumble rap fad. There's Pat. Definitely, let's focus on that. There we go. That's great. That's great technique. That's how you get to the Olympics right there. So look at Brandon here. A little bit more solid, pulling under that bar. Didn't let it leap out from his hips too much. Toes went into the ground first. That second rep, he keeps consistently cleaning up on that second rep. Brandon being a very experienced lifter, he really can feel the bar and feel where he's at. Yeah, very nice, Pat. And Pat seemed upset with Brandon for some reason. Good, very solid under the bar there. Good follow-up reps right there. Seems to be getting better as the session goes along. Here's some drop sets here. Very smooth. Good, not bad. One thing with Brandon, like I said, we are focusing on getting a little bit quicker under that bar. He tends to be a little bit slow with the arm reaction, so we are building on that right here. I don't think this session we had discussed it much. The next video you'll see him actively working on that, kind of battling with some weights that usually aren't a battle for him, but tend to be. See that bar got left in front a little bit. Yeah, as he's fatiguing right here, you can see that bar really swinging way out, popping out from the hips, swinging way out there, and that's where he starts to run into issues. But because it's been a focus lately, whenever you focus on something, it oftentimes tends to get worse before it gets better, especially for somebody who's been lifting for such a long time like Brandon has. So got 110 kilos warming up here on some easy clean and jerks. Power. I believe that first one was supposed to be a power clean, and then a jerk. Looking real solid. Very lightweight for Brandon. Here's 120. Good. In the clean, we've really been thinking a lot about minimizing that bar crash. We were at an amazing Attitude Nation seminar this weekend with John North and Jared Enderton, which if you've never been to one of those, I cannot recommend it enough. They're absolutely incredible. Just a great group of guys to learn from. Trying to minimize that bar crash now with Brandon. Here's Kaifa. He was working up to a heavy single snatch after a pretty heavy day. Misses a 210-pound snatch there. Not a super heavy weight for him. It is above 90%, but for Kaifa, you can see he pulled it out of his hip right there. Here's Brandon. Some more easy reps right there. On that second one, he lets that bar slam down on him, and he makes him drop his elbows a little bit, round out his upper back a little bit. There we go. Much better pull through to the shoulders there. You can see there wasn't a lot of crash. The bar didn't slam on him, and he was able to stand up with it much easier. Let's see the follow-up. Okay, better, a little bit more crash there, but that's okay. He could feel the fatigue on that second rep, so he tried to pull a little bit harder. That's all right. Solid reps right there. Still light weights for him. This is should be just under 130. Pretty light day here. There we go. Some pretty boring light lifting from Brandon. Good. Very smooth under the bar. With these lightweights, Brandon does a great job, like I said, feeling the bar. Once the weight gets heavy, he attempted a 170 clean this past weekend, and it absolutely slammed him. But when we went back and watched the video, he was catching the bar. It was about 6 inches above his shoulders, and it just crushed him. So if he had a little bit more weight, it would have been an easy clean. But when he's really unleashing that strength, it tends to crash on him. So we're working on that right now, and we're going to see some insane numbers. I feel like a 175 clean is right around the corner for Brandon, possibly even 180. We're talking within the next couple months. I feel really confident with that. Here's Kalen with some snatch doubles, I believe. Looking pretty fast under that bar. Looks like it's pulling him forward just a little bit. Doesn't look like he's pulling under it real hard. This is where it was working up to a heavy single. This is 205 pounds. This should have been an easy make for him. Once again, we're coming off of a couple heavy days, and then I wanted him to work up to a heavy single just because we're kind of in the middle of the volume I would like to be. So I said, well, let's have a little fun. Heavy single. You never know what's going to pop out. But this was just more frustrating than anything for Kalen. Really tends to beat himself up a lot of times when he's missing. But you can see the effort. You can see he looks the same on all these lifts. It just wasn't there that day. It just wasn't there. That he wasn't quite pulling the bar high enough in the end there. The first two, he wasn't pulling himself under the bar good enough. Here's Kaifa. Kaifa had a great weekend this past weekend. He nearly clean and jerk 300 pounds. We played with some hand width stuff. The bar just kept crashing on his shoulders and slipping off. I think it's because he doesn't own any t-shirts, so he's constantly shirtless, and I think that was his demise on the clean. But he was very close, and those were huge numbers for him. He's only gotten serious with weightlifting again recently, and just absolutely huge numbers for him. Really glad to see his progress jumping up so fast. I believe he snatched 225 or 230, and then clean and jerked, I think successfully clean and jerked 285. So very good day for Kaifa. Really glad to see some stuff coming together for him, and for him as it has. And as you can see, real solid on the power jerk. That's going to put together some really nice numbers for Kaifa soon. He squats the world, so the power jerk for him just it made sense. Hopping a little bit forward in the clean there, probably not pulling the bar back into his body enough. Kaifa has such long arms, so a big issue with him is sweeping that bar back into his hips and keeping those elbows bent and pulled back into his body, and oftentimes it gets a little variable. Bailey with some real stiff looking clean and jerks back there. I'd like to see him pushing into that bar a little bit more. Here goes Kalen with some front squats. These two guys right here actually today were hilarious. They got in a little squat battle. I was watching them just earlier. They had some sets of 8 front squats with a I believe 65%, and they ended up working up to around 85 to 90% for sets of 8. Obviously, it's been a while since we've maxed, but watching these two guys battle back and forth is great. And it's really going to help both of these young lifters really blow up here soon, because that atmosphere, training atmosphere, is absolutely everything. And these two guys are such a good team, such a good asset for the team, and them working together is really going to create some amazing stuff. Really good to see that. Kalen looking real solid on those jerks. Never has had a problem jerking anything, even with the stiff back leg. It's always blown my mind. But we'll work on that in the future eventually. I'm afraid that's going to run out. Here's Bailey with some snatch doubles, I believe. So fast under the bar. Once again, still just disconnected with the arms. He's so great and so fast on the pull. Once the bar leaps off his hips, it just floats. He just drops. So he has no connection. So it kind of goes wherever it wants. That's a huge focus right now. We're doing a lot of powers, doing a lot from the hip. making sure that he's learning how to feel himself under the bar, and he knows it too. And he's a great sport about it. Bailey is absolutely positive about everything, so he's a very easy lifter to critique. We're trying to get him to learn how to be a little bit more mean to everybody else on the team to keep that competition going. But just absolutely so fast. So fast. Baylor's going to be a phenomenal lifter. Very light 77 right now. High 69. And he's going to hit some really big weights. He just snatched, I want to say 215 at the seminar, 205, 215. Clean and jerked 265 and then clean 275. Huge day for Bailey. I mean, he is hitting PRs every single week. It's unbelievable. He's doing some great stuff. Looking good under the bar right there. He found a little rhythm there. There's some solid jerks. Working on getting that back knee down a little bit more. That's not bad. I'd like to see him get that front foot out a little bit more. His knee seems to be going in front of his ankle. I'd like to see the knee stay right over the ankle. Yeah, that's not a good look right there. That's going to cause some stability issues in the catch. Here's Kalen with some front squats. Kalen tends to have some upper back issues from time to time. It'll kind of flare up, and you can see when he goes down into that squat, his upper back wants to round over a little bit more, and that can be contributed to a lot of things. Possibly just stiffness in the upper back, right? Serratus anterior, those muscles in between the ribs could be causing some issues there. But hey, thanks for checking us out. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time.